It's when you travel down south and you tell people you're from Glasgow, they get quite excited. They go, Glasgow, yeah, it's really quite rough, isn't it? Really violent, yeah. And you kind of get proud. And you go, oh, aye, oh, aye. Yeah, a lot of tough guys. Oh, aye, a lot of tough guys. Then they visit the place and they're a bit disappointed. No, we're trying to get away from the stereotypes. We've got a new promotional tourist campaign called Glasgow, Scotland with Style. Everybody seen the posters? It's one of these kind of homogenised posters of people supposed to be the new face of Glasgow. People with names like Nathan. You know, every major city advertises the happy people like Nathan, and it's this guy's in the poster, Nathan, sales assistant, proud Glaswegian. I don't think a sales assistant called Nathan is a fair representation of any major city. I think major cities should play up to their stereotypes on the billboards, advertising your city, show them real people like wee mental Davy. Apprentice joiner. Father of 6. Davy's there in the billboard with the 6 kids all tucked into the one tracksuit. A Lacoste tracksuit and only the best for these kids. They're all dressed up for their granny's 30th. You've got the 6 kids, you've got Keanu, you've got Sigourney. Destiny, that's a new one I heard. Destiny. Imagine naming your daughter after the nightclub she was conceived in. This is Destiny and this is my son, the garage. We're paying it back, 1.5 trillion, that's the plan, reduce the deficit. The deficit means you spend too much money, don't bring enough money in. Tory solution, make cuts. I think we just need to start making some more fucking money. All these billionaire psychos putting their taxis into the Cayman Islands. They tell you that as if the money's irretrievable. Fucking invade the Cayman Islands. Get it back. What the fuck are the Cayman Islands going to do about it? Instead of getting after disabled people and fucking single parents. That takes balls, doesn't it? That takes balls. George Osborne, Ian Duncan Smith. Going through disabled people's doors, this is your fucking fault, mate. You. We could go after tax-avoiding multinationals. We could go after Vodafone, Starbucks, Amazon, Google, Gary Barlow, but it's your fucking fault. You. You're going back to work, mate. We don't give a fuck how disabled you are. Or you're paralysed from the neck down. We don't give a fuck, mate. There'll be a farm out there looking for a scarecrow. Fucking get to it. Couple of people checking for the offside flag on that joke there. Maybe an extreme example, but that's their ideal world, cutting benefits, and people fall for it. People believe it. I hear folk moaning. I hear them. See them on Facebook. You discover through Facebook you hate your own fucking aunties. Reading their shite. I have worked my whole life, and I've worked 2 jobs since I've been 12 years old, and I think it's a disgrace that these people are sitting on their fat arses. They're spending their dole checks on alcohol and cigarettes. It's a darn right disgrace. You're missing the point, man. They're spending it on alcohol and cigarettes. Highly taxable goods. The country's getting it back. These people are reinvesting. These people are the heroes in this mess. It's not poor people spending, it's fucking rich people saving. That's the problem. The money's there. Just need to get it to people that will fucking spend it. I would put the dole up. I would make the dole £1,000 a week. That's how you kickstart an economy. Every bit of it would get spent. You see it on Black Friday. That's poor people. Imagine them on £1,000 a week. The country would be fucking bouncing. Not one penny going offshore or into your savings account. Let's get fucking tattoos, man. People arriving at the job centre in taxis to sign on. Just keep the meter running, my man. I'll be 5 minutes. That's the dole up to £1,000 a week, Denise. You still wanting your tits done? I will get the hot tub. Aye, fuck it, why not? £1,000 a week. You need a bit of immigration in the world. Now, you need a few asylum. I feel sorry for asylum seekers. Now, you read about them. They get their applications get expelled. They get accused of lying about being in danger. I think if somebody's prepared to travel thousands of miles in the back of a lorry, starving themselves for weeks, risking their lives at the border controls, just to get a council flat in Sight Hill, something's frightening the shite at them. Now the BNP, this year they get forced to allow non-white people to join the BNP. I thought that was pretty cool. I'd encourage people from every ethnic group to join the BNP. Now let's ruin their party. I'd love to live in a country where the white supremacists are black. I'm supposed to be racist. Who's this guy? How's he in my team? We had a bit of racial animosity in this city, in Glasgow, when we got our terrorist attack. Remember that? Glasgow airport, we got our own little terrorist attack. Pretty proud of that. Kind of put us on the map. Islamic fundamentalists attacked New York, Madrid, London, and then Glasgow. We were fucking flattered. My dad had a tear in his eye. It's a proud day, son. That's us on the telly. Look, I've been there. I've parked there. And everybody had a laugh, but terrorism does have a negative side. It did create a kind of racial divide. I witnessed this firsthand on a train going down south, on this train. Just me sitting here and a middle-aged guy sitting just along a bit. Now, a couple of stops later, a woman of Asian appearance boarded the train and sat beside the middle-aged guy, who immediately stood up and walked away. Right? You ever seen that film, Snakes on a Plane? And this was Jake's on a train, right? That's funny. Right? Walked away. Right? The middle-aged guy stood up and just walked away and sat beside me. He started to nudge me. Well, that way a scumbag presumes that you're also going to be a scumbag. Nudging me, and he's pointing. And he said, I don't fancy sitting beside her, pal. No chance. She'll be one of the suicide bombers. I'm taking no chances. I thought, I can see your logic here, mate. You thought she might be a suicide bomber, so you've came and sat 4 seats away. Seriously, underestimating the power of Semtex. Thinks he's got a stink bomb. This is the jihad for Allah. Oh, it's fucking bouffing him. Open that window. Smelly Taliban bastards. Aye. That is disgusting. Somebody get a can of Febreze, there's been a terrorist attack. That is absolutely minging. But you're stuck with the guy the whole way, going down south, going to London. The guy said, "Are you going to London?" And I said, "I'm going to London." And he said, "I don't like London." Guys like me and you, mate, we're the foreigners in London. They're coming over here, mate, and they're speaking Punjabi. I don't know the way the guy said Punjabi, it was pretty funny. They're speaking Punjabi. They're wearing these burqas, mate. This is our country. If they want to come into our country, they should at least be adapting to our culture. And I'm looking at this guy, thinking I bet when he goes abroad, he really blends in. Walking about Lanzarote, looking for a Greggs. You don't understand my accent? A daily record, you dick. MSN Messenger, like that was the very first. That was the original social media, right? And that were easier days. Yeah, if somebody asked you to send a photograph of yourself on MSN Messenger, sorry, I don't have a scanner. Right, it was simpler time. You never had kids becoming image obsessed because only about 12 photographs of you existed in the 90s. You're not going to send one of them to a girl you're talking to online. This is me and my dad on a pedalo in Mallorca. An hour goes by, only 17% of the photograph has downloaded down the screen. Trying to keep the conversation going whilst looking at the top 17% of you and your dad. Just your wee plastic tube round your neck where you kept your potatoes. I'll send the rest later. My mum has to use the house phone. It was never designed as a habitat where relationships could grow. The internet, right? You get all these wee dweebs. If they fancy somebody, they can just click like on a few of their pictures or send a direct message. And that is what creates a generation of these wee horned up sex gremlins, these fucking apprenticed rapists who are being created because they have never handled rejection face to face. They have never received a knockback from point blank range. Right? They have never felt the emotions walking up to the girl that you fancy in a school disco, feeling your heart bursting through your Sergio Tacchini polo shirt. I'm not even a fucking clutcher here. It's bursting right through. Your cheap, shitty Spar hair gel starts running into your eyes as you're sweating. Your mouth's dry, there's a cold bit of sweat going down your spine. You feel it trickle right into your arse crack as you're advancing on the potential love of your life. And you knew you had fucked it up as soon as you arrived there. The way you were presenting yourself, you knew you had fucked it. But before you knew it, the words were leaving your mouth. Would you get off with me? Time would slow down. You would hear yourself saying the words. Hanging in there for the slight chance that she'll say yes, and it was always no. And it was painful, it was humiliating, it crushed you, but you had faced the fear. You never called her a bitch. You respected her decision. You respected yourself. You had conquered the fear. You were getting back in the game. Would any of your friends get off with me? You were rising from the ashes like a phoenix here.
listen, if you hear of anybody who wants to get off with me, just spread the word. Big Kev's in the corner, eating a Freddo, drinking a Capri Sun, looking for love. Fuck social media. It's time. The time is up. It's fucking destroying people's lives. Fuck it, right? We need a revolution. Right? Or they at least need to stop calling it social media, in my opinion, because there's nothing social about it. Right? You don't want to socialise in these places. If Facebook, hey, exactly. If Facebook was a pub, you would probably have a look around and go, it's full of pricks in here. Let's go somewhere else. Right? Simple as that. As soon as you view it in those terms, the illusion disappears and it's a lot more straightforward to disconnect. If your Facebook page was a pub, would you sit in a pub? A guy you went to school with trying to sell Herbalife, would you sit in that fucking pub? Your second cousin who wants to be a blogger and she can only speak to people in inspirational quotations, would you sit in that fucking pub?
Well, guys, I just believe that yesterday is history and tomorrow is a mystery. You know, I really believe that. Isn't that such a nice thing to believe?
You'd get a fucking jerry can full of petrol and go back and torch that pub. You're a guy you work beside whose gran died years ago and he mentions it every time he needs a few likes. No, he's sick. Fuck. No, just having a sad day today, guys. I'm having a really sad day. I'm just thinking of you, Gran. I know you're up there, Gran. Hooring out your dead Gran for attention. Right, the lowest of the low here. Right, I know that sounds a bit harsh, but fuck these people. Right,
Gran, I know you're up there, and every day is another day closer to seeing your face again, Gran. And I just want to say, Gran, that I love you and miss you, and I know you're looking down on me, Gran, and I know you're proud of me and everything I'm doing, and I'm so proud of you, and I just, like, until I see your face again, Gran, I just want to say I love you, Gran.
On Facebook. If you're like going, mate, your gran never knew how to turn the fucking volume up on the telly. When she was alive, she never knew how to put the central heating on. But think she's died, went up to heaven, somebody's presented her with an iPad upon arrival. Think your gran's done an IT course. Think there's courses in heaven to pass the time since it is eternity. Oh, fuck it, I'll do a 6-week IT course. Think your gran is asking St. Peter for the Wi-Fi password up in heaven. St. Peter, that's on the wall, sweetheart. Paradise, the S is a 5. Fuck you and fuck your gran, mate.